Orange Town. Orange Town is the second arc in One Piece, spanning 14 chapters of glorious action, amazing character writing, and some of East Blue's funniest scenes, and of course the subject of today's discussion, its glorious, and I mean glorious panels. Here we see Oda expand on what we had seen in Romance Dawn, as well as utilize it in the most action-packed arc so far. So without further ado, let's dive straight into Orange Town. We begin with Chapter 8. In Chapter 8, we are introduced to Cat Burglar Nami at sea after she was found by a trio of pirates. Here we see her utilize a strange ability to predict the weather. We are led to believe she can just do this, just by sheer will, but maybe this could be a power she has.
南の空に低い雲を伴う寒冷前線を発見。まもなく激しい風とともにスコールになるでしょう。小さな船は転覆にご注意。
At the end of the chapter, we see Luffy show off a level of seriousness we have yet to see him show off in the story so far. This is only due to his prize straw hat being affected, and this shows a plot that we will follow along the arc of Luffy being very emotionally affected by the straw hat. In Chapter 9, we see the great, and I mean great, Buggy the Clown shrouded in mystery and shadow. The panel is one of Buggy's most menacing, and next we only see the Suave Clown in all his glory with his three most trusted crew members, Moji, Kabaji, and of course, the great Captain Richie.
まだ捕まらんのか泥棒は。ただいま追跡中のはずです。バギー船長。はい。
Like the chapter previous, we see Luffy's adoration for Shanks and the Straw Hat, with him labeling the hat as his precious treasure compared to what Nami sees as a simple hat. We learn more about Nami as a character and her personal feelings. She tells Luffy she hates pirates, she loves money, and more interestingly, she adores oranges. Will this interesting love for oranges be more important in future? We can only tell as we go through the story. Luffy and Nami already display some of the best character interactions in the whole story in Nami's second chapter in the whole story. It's here we see the highlight of the chapter. Nami strangely whips out a rope and just says, "Don't worry about it, it's just a rope. It's just something I have on me at all times." Will this rope play a significant part in the next sequence? We'll only see as we go on.
なんで縛るんだ？ただのロープよ。問題ある？まあいっか。海賊なら会ってみてと思ってたし。行こうぜ。ちょっと待ってよ。
Closing off chapter 9, Nami just lies and everyone believes her. No real questions about if she's telling the truth or not. They just believe her. And it shows an ability we'll see as the story goes on of Nami just being able to lie and people believing her. Chapter 10 shows off Buggy's amazing and all-conquering Buggy Bomb as it rips through and annihilates the town, leaving only rubble in its wake. Nami's reaction to this is very peculiar, as through all her thieving, you would think she had seen power like this before, but she reacts as if this is something new and something very dangerous. Buggy decides to test Nami and how far she's willing to lie to him and his crew, but tries not simply blow Luffy the fuck up. Our favorite minority hunter once again enters and saves everyone. He saves Nami from a situation she quite frankly puts herself in by just lying. If she didn't lie, we wouldn't be here. Here we see a character to Zoro we will see throughout the story of him making up a point to bring up a character's gender. Could this be Zoro showing off his chivalry? Or is our favorite swordman just simply sexist? Finishing the chapter off, Zoro just cuts down and annihilates Buggy, which feels a bit too simple to the reader after Buggy's build up. However, we're left knowing this is not all it is, as his crew is seen just laughing it off to what is their captain being gunned down. Chapter 11 proves the reader that Buggy is definitely stronger than Zoro by stabbing him with one attack, dropping him to his knees and putting him out of commission for a few minutes. He also reveals he has the second devil fruit in the story to be the Barabara no Mi. He brings up the point he is immune to all forms of cutting damage, which is the polar opposite of Luffy, who is incapable of getting any form of blunt force damage. Luffy, being a kind of a hypocrite, calls Buggy a monster, even though he himself is quite monster-ish. Damage Zoro then shows off an inhuman feat, showcasing that One Piece humans are not like normal humans and that they function differently, by lifting Luffy's cage to escape from Buggy and his crew. Chapter 12, Luffy commits what I feel is minor animal cruelty, but who am I to say, and pokes Chojo the dog in the eyes, just straight up in his eyes, almost blinding the dog. While I feel it's a bit much, the dog fights back, so it's fair in my books. After being freed from his cage, Luffy sets the main goals of the Orange Town arc: defeat Buggy and get him and his crew out of Orange Town, as well as making Nami the navigator of his crew. We see Luffy absolutely enraged from Moji and Richie's actions, from him showing in this panel genuine rage, and Oda's artwork does this scene absolute justice. We understand this is the angriest Luffy has been so far in the story.
もう謝らなくていいよ。あの犬の宝は戻らないんだから。だから、俺はお前をぶっ飛ばす。
Nami's hate for Paris shows us that she is still a good person at heart, even though she's a thief, and is even willing to fight Luffy to defend what is right. Luffy does not react to this, showing he understands where Nami is coming from and has no reason to talk back to her.
でも海賊なら同じことするのよ。仲間集めて人を襲い出す前にここで殺してやろうか。
ああ、おいやめんか娘。
お前なんかに俺がやられるか。やったろうじゃないの。
やめろちゅうんじゃなんなんじゃお前ら。
Chapter 14 shows off what will become a staple in One Piece, which is a character miscommunicating a line. Moji tries to tell Buggy what Luffy's power is after his defeat, but halfway through he passes out. Buggy hears half the word and runs with this and deems Luffy to be a Masseur and is mad at Moji for being defeated by one, as it fucks up his street cred. Oda follows the scene we saw in chapter 13 by showing Luffy indeed knows why Nami was very angry at him, while also displaying one of his main character traits of not really caring about a character's past. This will be seen time and time again as the story develops, as Luffy only cares about a character's present and not who they were before.
つい怒鳴って。いいさ。お前いろいろあったんだろ。別に聞きたかねえけど。
Buggy begins the final act of the arc by setting off the special Buggy Ball, ripping and destroying through the whole town. This attack shows off amazing scale, and Oda does an amazing job of showing just how destructive this attack is.
特製バギー玉撃て街を吹き飛ばすんだ。
Chapter 15 has one panel of note that sticks out to me, and it's Luffy committing assault on the elderly by attacking the mayor of Orange Town to 1. Shut him up, and 2. Get him out of the way before the battle commences. Buggy and Kabaji have an amazing panel after stopping the buggy ball Luffy sent back at them by using 2 goons and Captain Richie himself as meat shields. Buggy steals the panel with a pose that fits his character so much and makes him seen as an avid candidate for the Pirate King.
よくもまあ派手にやってくれたもんだ。
Zoro displays once again that he may not be human by absolutely slicing through his intestines just to prove to Kabaji that yeah, he's a real nigga. In chapter 17, Zoro shows off his first named attack and what will become his staple name attack, Onigiri. This defeats Kabaji in one strike, concluding his fighting for the arc. At the end of the chapter, Buggy drops a figurative bomb, this time by letting Luffy know that his straw hat is familiar to him and that he has links to Shanks.
その麦わらを見ているとあの男を思い出してむしゃくしゃしてくるぜ。クソ生意気なあの赤髪の男をよ。
赤髪ってシャンクスのこと知ってんのかお前。
Chapter 18 shows Buggy jesting in an attempt to agitate Luffy by misleading him about whether or not he truly knows Shanks. Luffy simply calls Buggy an idiot for playing around the subject matter and wasting his time.
知ってるといや知ってるが知らんといや全く知らん。
何言ってんだお前バカか。
そら褒めすぎだぜ。
He then gets his first meaningful hit on Buggy in a panel that displays the impact Buggy has taken to his gut, with blood spurting out of his floating head. Chapter 19 is the Buggy flashback chapter. We see a young Buggy and Shanks arguing about which pole of the world is colder, the North or South Pole. We then see Buggy deep throat a pineapple-shaped devil fruit with an amazing technique to hide it from Shanks, establishing himself as the current One Piece Throko.
何ニヤニヤしてんだい？
なんだてめえか脅かすな。
なんて顔してんだい。盗み食いはほどほどにしとけよ。国際に怒られるぜ。
危ねえ危ねえ。
ああ、そういえばさっき船長が。
Luffy goes for a low blow in chapter 20 and commits Buggy to a future of no children in a panel that shows off Buggy's extreme pain. Nami knows that Buggy's bloodline is indeed over with him and shows off extreme sadness in this.
俺の股間
Finishing off the fight, we see one of my favorite Luffy attacks, the Gomu Gomu no Bazooka, sending Buggy all the way to the moon.
ごめんバギーゴムゴムの
The final chapter in the arc has Luffy telling the townspeople he is indeed the one who hit the mayor and he is a pirate. This shows Luffy's inability to lie and will become a very, very, very common thread in all of One Piece. Nami attempts to get out of this situation by once again lying for no real reason when telling the truth is enough. Luckily, Luffy's honesty keeps him out of this. We finish off the arc with the mayor thanking Luffy for saving the town and telling him he owes Luffy for his actions in Orange Town.
すまん、おにきる。
気にすんなラグリンゴ
Orange Town continues to show off Oda's amazing panel work and ability to show off scenes in One Piece in an easy and engaging manner. Next, we will cover what I deem to be East Blue's weakest arc, the low blows and the high lies of Syrup Village. In this arc, we will see some fan favorite characters and continue to build on what we have seen in the last 2 arcs.